Donald Trump held yet another massive rally to ensure that more of his followers get COVID and pass away from it. And one of the things that he now just does at every rally is just bring up either refugees or non-white elected representatives and have the crowd boo them. It's a fun sort of Orwellian thing that he does. Here he is spontaneously deciding to attack Ilhan Omar.
We're gonna win the state of Minnesota because of her, they say. He's telling us how to run our country. How did you do where you came from? How is your country doing? They're gonna tell, she's gonna tell us, she's telling us how to run our country.
Okay, so there's like 20 things that are absolutely awful there. But you gotta love him telling her, like, why didn't she do a better job of running her home country back when she was a child before she came here as a refugee? And she's gonna tell us how to run our country. Our is just such a weighty word in that sentence. I wonder what he means by our in that sentence, Ida.
You know, when he says our, you know what he's talking about. He's talking about the good old white people of America who are the descendants of the people who owned our people, the people who stole this country from the First Nations people and then made them second-class citizens on their own lands. You know, the people who scoff at immigrants for taking jobs that they wouldn't even think about doing. And as the pandemic has rolled on, we've seen evidence of that. We don't need to go back 10 years. We can just go back 3 months to, you know, the times of the farmers, the people who were farmers for Trump in California, who were banging for Trump really, and then when they deported the immigrants who were mining the crops, there were no white people showing up there to mine the crops to feed the people of the state of California. So when he says "our," that's code, and he is constantly talking to his white supremacist base. And the funny thing is that he only needs them to do his work for them, because in addition to being a white supremacist, he's an elitist. So he would not even be associated with those people had they not served a purpose for him. So if you're walking around, stomping around in your KKK garbs, thinking that you and Donald Trump are cool, just know that he wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, because in addition to not liking, I mean, he doesn't like 99% of the population because he feels like they're all beneath them. And that includes you too, if you have to shop at a pick and save.
Exactly, and like there couldn't be a stronger demonstration than the video we just showed you, packed with thousands of his followers, all jammed in together. The only ones wearing masks effectively are the ones mandated to wear them behind him on TV, and the rest have a very good chance of contracting a fatal illness, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He could even, like, it's one thing to have the rallies at all, you have to not care. But he could have the rallies and then tell everyone there, we handed you masks. I want you to put on masks. I want you to be responsible. I care about your life. Why don't you care about your life? Put on masks. And if you don't, then we're gonna shut this thing down because you're my devoted fans and I care whether you live or die. But he would never ever say that because he doesn't. He honestly doesn't. Now, on to Ilhan Omar. Like, it's just so sick that he just will shout on like a 99% white crowd. How do you like your refugees? How do you like them? It's the most explicit racism. We're supposed to pretend that racism isn't a cornerstone of the Republican Party. Anyway, she's a US citizen. He seems to be forgetting that. A requirement for serving in Congress, and was naturalized after coming to the country as a child refugee from Somalia. She responded directly to him saying, firstly, this is my country, and I am a member of the House that impeached you. Secondly, I fled civil war when I was 8. An 8-year-old doesn't run a country, even though you run our country like one, which is a great answer in a lot of different ways. She went on to send another tweet saying, these cult-like rallies leaving me wondering one thing, why are you so obsessed with me?
That's a great.
Which is very good too. Yeah, the idea that she's responsible for the issues because she's a child. Okay, so our economy has fallen apart multiple times in the past few decades. Is that a random 8-year-old in Wisconsin's fault? Like, how did you actually have any consistency here? No, of course. It's just a racist attack against her. Think about it. The president of the United States holding an election rally, bringing up a first-term congresswoman so that his white crowd can boo her. What amazing. It's just amazing. And it's been normalized. We just expect it at this point.
And then telling black people in America that those black immigrants coming here are also taking away from you to further divide us, because they're not just targeting the racists and the white supremacists, they're also targeting other people of color because divide and conquer is real. So if you keep framing immigrants as being the enemy, and even though we all know that if nobody knew who Ilhan was and she didn't speak and didn't tell you where she was from, she'd just be a black woman in America, and she would just be able to enjoy the basic 101 racism that is employed against black women in America. But then you want to add, you can add the components, the additionals of being an immigrant and a refugee, which America has done a really good job as giving really bad connotations to. So now we're dealing with the complexities of the division, even within the communities of color, black people, and you get it with the Haitians, you get it with the people that come here from Africa, the talking points from white supremacy telling us that they sold themselves into slavery. So all of that is, I feel like it sounds like I'm off topic, but it's all connected, because when you frame her as being an immigrant, you don't just have white people who are racist hating her. You have Black Americans who are hating her, and so you're feeding all of the hate from all over the place because he has to cover his bases.
Yeah, and let's by the way mention that obviously she's not white, so they're going to despise her. That's just a standard. You expect it. She's also one of the first 2 Muslim women to serve in Congress and the first to wear the hijab. She's been the subject of relentless Islamophobic attacks since running for office in 2018. Again, she's first term. But Fox News cannot stop talking about her. Trump can't stop bringing her up. His fans think about her for at least 7 to 9% of each one of their days. Like, they love to talk about us being triggered. Her mere existence dominates their thinking. They can't get past the fact that she was elected because they think America is supposed to be a place where if you're Muslim, if you're black, if you wear the hijab, no, you shouldn't have a chance. There shouldn't be a chance of you getting elected. And as a reminder, last year, Trump called for Omar and some of our progressive peers in Congress, all of them non-white, by the way, to go back to the totally broken, crime-infested places from which they came. Trump supporters also chanted, "Send her back," during a rally last year. This is her country. She's a citizen of this country. She was actually elected. She won the popular vote in her district. I know that that's sort of a foreign concept to Donald Trump, but her constituents actually wanted her to be the person that got the office. Maybe that's part of why they can't stop demonizing her. And some of them, like Marjorie Greene, putting ads where she's holding an AR-15 and the faces of AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar are posted there. If the day comes that one of his insane followers actually commits an act of violence against Ilhan Omar, Fox News is going to be delighted. His fans are going to be delighted. That's what this has been building towards for just about 2 years now.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me just say here, and let me say it right now. We, those of us who are people of color, black people in this country, we're not gonna sit around and we are not sitting around anymore just letting people continuously threaten us with violence. That's been the American way for a long time. So all of this, romanticizing of the violence against these women of color, which one of them, Puerto Rican, which is a territory of the United States, but honestly, we know it's really a colony of the United States, is, this talk, you have these crazies, you have these ignorant people who are constantly speaking violence and putting their guns in the air as if they're the only ones who have guns. America's getting tired of this, and this is something that's been going on for a very long time. We are not, I forgot to even mention that Ilhan being Muslim is also a big issue with her.
Yeah,
the hate against her, which is really funny. But if you think about the good black people that they like, did you see Donald Trump employ any empathy for Herman Cain, who received COVID possibly at one of his rallies? No, they just tossed him into the tons of casualties and just moved on accordingly, and actually made a joke out of it, like using his account after he was dead to drive home these ridiculous points. So these people who think that Donald Trump is for the black people, as some people come to say, Ilhan is the black people. So it's so frustrating. It makes me so.
I mean, the fact that Herman Cain died didn't break through at all to them. That we don't know for sure that he got at the rally, but there's a very good reason to believe that he got it at the rally. I mean, he must have interacted with more unmasked people there than he had personally from the beginning of the pandemic to that point in 1 hour, basically. And they didn't care. Like, he was a former candidate for the Republican nomination for presidency, and he died at a Trump rally. And as a response to that, Trump stopped having rallies for like 2 months. And now he has them every day, basically.
But he's dead though, he's dead. That's the point, is that he is dead and it's like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. And it's I don't understand what it takes. I don't think Joe Biden has been the best for Black people either, nor Kamala Harris, but I just think that Donald Trump is an outright white supremacist. You can be a bigot all you want in your own home, but when you are participating in the laws and the rules of the country that affect Black people and people of color, now we really got a problem.
Yeah, 100%.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.